y'all, what's poppin'? It's G Black to this video about All Urban Central. This is 50 Cent defends 6ix9ine snitching and explains hate for son Marquise. I need to hear this because him and his son has been feuding on social media for the longest, and it's really sad to watch. It is like a car accident though. You gotta, you can't help but tune in. But it's still like really tragic. It's like, god damn, that's your son, and y'all be like talking shit to each other, like, and he like, that ain't my son, like, it's really unfortunate. So I want to hear, why he has hate for his son. About 6ix9ine snitching, I'm over this whole situation. I don't care. It's surprising though that he would be defending 6ix9ine, considering that he didn't snitch himself. The nigga who shot him, he didn't snitch on him. So it's like, how are you condoning snitching? But sure. Anyway, let's see what he got to say. Let's watch.
Speaking of rappers that are trying to make it, there's a rapper that just came home not too long ago, a guy that,
wasn't he really cool with him?
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
He was making little jokes about disowning 6ix9ine.
I can't get a consensus from people about whether or not 6ix9ine is going to be able to be successful as a rapper after everything that he did.
I think he will be.
You think he will be successful?
Yeah.
You think that enough people? You think Tekashi 6ix9ine will be successful?
Yeah, I do. And the reason being is the guys that actually the lifestyle, the way they grew up, right? One second.
This dude, you in the middle of an interview. What are you doing? Look at his face.
I expect him to say that. I have to be honest with you. Like, I had that question.
I mean, he hasn't said anything wrong. I feel like.
Mr. Powder, bro.
Oh.
So look, the guys that have in the cities that come from the environments where they adjust to kind of the street codes, the street lifestyle, right? Yeah. So these guys, they're looking at it like, no, he snitched on everybody. Can't do it that. No, I ain't. The actual consumers of hip hop music.
I fucking said this.
Or in middle America, they need somebody to drive them to the mall on the weekend to find something. They can't even get in trouble unless you in the backyard. And these are the people that our culture, hip hop, allows them to go on safari. They allow them to understand the slang, get next to the animals, and not be in danger, not hurt. Like to understand everything that's going on. We're gonna slide on them. All of this different. And the music 24/7. That's representation of a whole, almost a foreign energy to them. And those people.
I want to hear about
look
his
at it
son.
and say, you wanted me to do 40 years for guys that slept with my girlfriend and took my money and was going to hurt my mother. At that point, tell any kid that hasn't been exposed to the street.
Keyword, that hasn't been exposed to the street. Keyword.
That's his girlfriend and take his money. And he's going to say, people, I don't care, yeah, whoever. And even when the tough, like what's the name, try to respond, my oldest says something when Tekashi says something.
Oh, your son?
Yeah, he's not even supposed to be in those conversations because it's not like the reason people might not whoop on him if they think I'll do something if something happens to him. But he shouldn't even be talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is there any chance at a reconciliation between you and your son? Because a lot of people from the outside, the boy looked just like you.
That's
twins.
A lot of people from the outside think that situation is sad, man.
Yes, it's sad as fuck.
It is sad. It's a sad situation, right? And when you pray for success, you don't necessarily pray for the things that come with it, right? And there's no such thing as success without jealousy, without envy, or entitlement. And entitlement is growing in someone who love in the scariest part, right? And his mom developed an entitlement that cannot be met. Filtering that energy through his actual personal interests. Let's say now that he's starting to like females, he's conscious of what kind of shoes he want to wear, I need these Jordans, the retro Jordans that's coming, different things. And then his mother go, all right, I'll get them for you, but it just bothers me because you're supposed to have them all. So while being a privileged child, he feels deprived. When you had everything I didn't have. I can tell you how much my kids cost in New York State, $1.360. You see what I'm saying? And I don't have an issue with paying the support. The reason why I'm the way I am, with those kind of situations, I pay my support that year that the baby's born. Move the money to the account, let it, and it automatically disperses a certain amount of money per each month. So with him, I noticed over the years like it developed, because I blamed it on his mom for a long time. But it's not his mother, it's him. Like I've gone places where he was at, he left.
Fifth, you love yourself?
I used to. You ask yourself how long, a complicated question would say, how long can you love something that don't love you back? You see, so in this experience, you look and you say, I didn't think success would cost me my firstborn, but it's the situation it is. Like my grandfather would say, it rattled like a snake. If it slithered like a snake, is it a snake or do you need to be bit? Right? And that's the Aiken, South Carolina, and just the country, she'll say. And what he keeps saying is every time you see the boy, you see show up with somebody you got a problem with. What does that take? People will always try to make relationships on a common bond of disliking someone. Like, be friends with you because your enemy is my enemy.
Yeah.
And he sees himself that way. To the extent where he's actually taking pictures with Preem's son or doing different things that, and you go, well, I don't even understand where your motivation comes from with these things, but.
Can you excuse any of that because of how young he is?
No, he's 23 years old, 24 years old. It's not a baby no more, it's a grown man.
But this has been going on for a long time, though.
I look at you as you grown, the decisions that you make as you start to pass what they would have did to us. They would have charged me like an adult at 15. So at 23, it's like you grown in my head. My homeboys, they had their babies at 15. At that point in the neighborhood, that was when you actually got into, we started the sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? It started to really get into it, and everybody, 15, 16 years old, was the point that he was having kids. So like, I was super late with him because I didn't want to have, something that I didn't actually connect with because we both was babies, at that point. And then later, all these things don't turn out the way you want them. Life just doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? And
what would have to happen for you guys to have a relationship again? That's the last question I'll ask about it.
I don't know. I ran into him one time. This is ill, right? Right after, it was 2 months before his support was finished, right? And
what happened?
At the time, standing at the desk talking to the jeweler, and he had a small diamond chain, 2 small diamond chains, trying to get a bigger diamond chain, right? Trading them, see how much you can get that one. And I walked in, he goes, "Oh, you got somebody like watching me?" I said, "No." He said, "Oh, so coincidence?" He said, "Yeah, coincidence." Then he turned back to the jeweler, he goes back to talking to the jeweler, and he's like, nah, I can't do that. Now I'm like, because of how much the jeweler's asking him for. So he can't do it. But he just realized that he's at the booth, negotiating, putting 2 small diamond chains back to get a bigger diamond chain with the money I'm mailing him. His mother never had a job. She didn't do nothing. I would have questioned whether I was wrong if she did something after the fact. She genuinely did not want to do nothing. This girl looked in my face and told me, like, she was like, "You what, Mike Tyson's house?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "So why you ain't tell me this?" I said, "Because you ain't moving there." I would have had to leave them in Mike Tyson's house. Like Mike left. There's an old lady in there when I got it. You see what I'm saying? So, because they would have said he's accustomed to this lifestyle and this is what he would have, it would have changed the whole scenario. So, when I said, "Nah, but you got to go, you won't get a place over here," I gave her the same money that I gave my grandmother to buy my grandmother's house for her to pick out a house and buy her house, and you go there until you figure out what you want to do. You don't want to do that. You're not coming with me stand like that. She was like, you did it already. Don't nobody work without have to work. You already did it. Feeling like the records you already sold. If I was thinking like that, that's who I was. Yeah, they've been over.
Damn.
If you think about it, a lot of people, like in the book I say, when you hustle, right? When you hustle, you adapt a mentality, you live by those ways, right? If you experience a setback, it's okay. It's always, the setback is for the get back. It's for, for you to feel that low, the way you feel when something goes bad. Damn, it's for how it feels when it's going right, right? So you can actually feel that, you experience that joy at that point, and then you could be getting money. You get police sweep. You got 3 people busted at one time. You got to bail all of them out. I pay lawyer fees for all of them. You got to have all your money that you had in the bank that you felt was just yours and profits is now taken out of your profits and placed into the necessity of keeping you functioning, right? And you bounce back from that. Let everybody get back, you get back.
This provides a different perspective to the whole situation. Because at first I was just like, 50 ain't shit. Like, this is your son, and you up here, like, dragging him on social media and talking shit about him and disowning him publicly. Like, that's unnecessary. I still feel like that's unnecessary. But, considering what 50 said, obviously I don't know all the details. Then this is just his side of the story. But, based on what he said, I kind of get where he's coming from. If, his mom felt really entitled and as a result start bad-mouthing 50, like, it's understandable that the son would, build up resentment for 50 as well, and then, prove that through his actions. Like, he was hanging out with the dude who shot 50. He was hanging out with his son. He, like, took a picture with him. I remember that happened. I think that was, like, a couple years ago or some shit. So, it's like, this is the nigga who tried to kill your dad, son, and you up here, like, smiling in a picture with him, and you know who he is, so it's kind of like, that's fucked up. So I feel like 50 felt, he being disloyal, da-da-da-da. But that's a sad situation. I hope they, get it together, because it's your son. He has your entire face. Like, get it together. He didn't defend 6IX9 snitching at all. This title is so clickbaity. Like, there was no defending. He said that he feels like he'll have a successful rap career because the middle America, they don't give a fuck. They're the epitome of being close to something hood without having to actually face those consequences, and that's what 6IX9 represents. He got real close to the street life, but he didn't really have too many consequences. Yes, he sat in jail for a little bit, but he was facing X amount of years and he got out like scot-free. So I feel like that's all 50 was saying. He wasn't saying like, yeah, I was snitched too. Like, he didn't say none of that, but sure. But anyway, decent video. Let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what other videos you want me to react to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.